We're back today with another double header in WOR, and we've got a North American double header in fact, because we've got the United States Grand Prix coming up first, and then we're going to have the Mexican Grand Prix coming up after this as well. So yep, this is the 8th round then of the season. As I said, the United States Grand Prix, and just 13 races in this calendar, so we're already sort of heading towards the closing stages of this season, and things are starting to get a bit interesting. And in the championship fight, we're starting to really see now who the contenders are, and we're starting to see maybe where the championship could be heading. Obviously the N4 man is Limpjet. He's won the last 2 races. He's won 3 overall, and I believe he's actually the only person to have won multiple races this season. So yeah, he's certainly looking like the favourite at the moment. Then he took over the championship lead last time out, so it'll be interesting to see then if he can extend that today. Now for this race there's actually a surprisingly low turnout, so he could well be in with a very good chance here, because he is one of the people that's here, and there's quite a few people missing that have been up there and sort of challenging for wins this season, such as Alex and Amazed. I think Callum's not here as well, so quite a few people missed then, so it's going to be down to us maybe to try and stop him here and try and end this run of form. And you can see then we're in 5th at the moment. Our teammate is up in 3rd, so we'll see if we can move up the grid a little bit here then as we come to the line. And we go 3rd there with our teammate in 4th, and it was indeed Limpjet who got pole. Liam then, he's up there as well. He's still in with a chance in the championship as well. He's 2nd on the grid then as I said, it's me and Levy on the 2nd row there, followed by Chris, Bybin, Ben, Coda, Epix, ABS Fan and Average then, with just 11 drivers here. So it was a surprisingly low turnout here. I guess just a coincidence that a lot of people couldn't make this one, I guess. In terms of strategy, I wanted to do soft medium here, but the game didn't seem to think I could do that, so it was only telling me I could do soft to hard. But I felt that I could take the mediums to about the softs to about lap 10, and then go over to mediums for the remaining 18 laps. That seemed like it would be possible to do, so that was what I was going to try and do here. Obviously there could probably safety cars as well that could change that slightly, but that was sort of the plan heading into the race here. We'll see what we can do then from 3rd on the grid. We really want to try and stop Limpjet if we can, because if he gets another win here, then he could be looking very good in the championship. As we line up now then on the grid, and the lights are coming on now, and we are away here then in Austin. And our initial launch is pretty good, but then I think we had a bit of wheel spin there, and now it's Levy who's come up then on the inside. We're going to try and just send it right on the outside here. We were alongside Liam there, but it didn't quite work out, but we did at least manage to stay ahead of Levy there, so we didn't lose anything in that at least, and it was pretty clean then up at the front. I think there may have been a little bit of an incident out of the back, but up at the front it was nice and clean. But obviously not many of us here, so I guess the chances of an incident happening there weren't that likely. And of course, for all but one person here, if we all get to the finish, then we'll be scoring points. So I think a lot of people then maybe not wanting to take too many risks here, because there's almost certainly a guaranteed point in it for anyone who gets to the finish here today. As we're still on the back then of Liam here, and Limpjet's still in the lead here, so we're getting a good run in fact on Liam, so we may well have a chance here down into this left-hander. We just weren't quite close enough there though to actually get the move done, and he was a little bit early on the brakes than I expected, so maybe if I'd gone for a little bit of a send there, then I could have maybe had a chance, but I don't know, it seems a little bit too risky there on the first lap to go for that one there. So I backed out of it for the time being. On to lap 3, where we're still all fairly close here, but Liam has already got himself a penalty there, so that's not good for him there, but it's good for us because it means that we can just sort of maintain his pace, and we'll have a good chance of getting ahead of him. But what is not good is that Limpjet is already extending that gap over a second then, and by lap 5 we'd actually dropped back from the pair of them here, so it's already looking like it's going to be quite hard for us to sort of challenge for the race victory here potentially, and we may just be on for looking to try and just get a podium here. We're still looking potentially good here with getting position from Liam, but we are falling back into the clutches of both Levy and Chris at the moment here. Levy's got a good run on us here, so obviously we don't want to fight him too hard because he's our teammate. So he had the good run there with the DRS, so just allow him to take the race in line there, and we'll see if we can sort of try and block Chris a little bit here from challenging him, well, because he was quite close to Levy there, so we'll try and stop him from getting through here if we can. And yeah, we're managing to cover the inside line here, and yeah, just about keeping him behind for the time being. Obviously we'll be hoping as well that we can sort of use a bit of DRS here from our teammate here and hopefully catch back up to Liam, because yeah, we had a bad couple of laps there and so I just really lost quite a bit of ground, and yeah, we've ended up losing a position and all of that as well. We are going to have DRS here then down the pit straight, but it doesn't look like we're going to be close enough to really challenge our teammate here, so it's just going to be a case of keeping this Alfa Romeo behind, which could still be a challenge then, despite the fact that we have got DRS here. He's up the inside into the first corner, and we're just going to try and hang it in there. Then we'll have the inside line here for turn 2, and we're still side by side, and he actually ran off the track there, so I don't know if there's contact on his screen, but I mean, I certainly left enough space there on my screen, so I'm not quite sure what happened there, but still we maintain our position then for the time being. And then on lap 8, Levy is in the pits now then, which did seem a little bit early here, and so is Chris as well there, so potentially a 2-stop for them, or a very long stint on mediums, or potentially going over to hards there. But either way, I was still quite happy with what I was doing here. Liam is in the pits as well then on the next lap. He's now got 6 seconds of penalties, so if we can just continue keeping it clean, then we will still have a good chance here of getting ahead of him by the end of this race. And then on lap 10, both me and Limpjet here pit for what will be our one and only stops here. It does look like the others have gone for mediums as well, so maybe they're trying to take him a bit longer than we are, or they're going for a 2-stop here. We'll have to wait and see. As in we come out then for our pit stop, and yeah, Jet has already gone then up at the front, and yeah, we complete our stop then. Looks like ABS Fine has also done the same strategy there behind us, and we will rejoin then, unsurprisingly down in 5th. Quite a powerful undercut there, as we can see from the fact that both Levy and Chris are caught up to Liam there. So yeah, it was quite a powerful undercut here, but I do think that I'm still on potentially a better strategy than them, so wasn't too worried at this stage. Skip on to lap 16 now then, where it looks like Levy's now the one who is struggling for pace here, so we'll be looking to try and retake the position from him then quite soon, yeah, before Chris gets away, because it looks like, well, obviously he has got ahead of our teammate there. So we're going to have DRS on this lap, so hopefully this time it'll be like a repeat of how it was before then, just with this time it's us then using it to get ahead. And yeah, it's looking like quite a straightforward move here then, and obviously, you know, we're not trying to, you know, squabble with each other too much there, so yeah, it was nice and straightforward there. I managed to get up into 4th position, and yeah, we've got Chris then in our sights, we're catching him, and we are still within range here of Liam, who now has 9 seconds of penalties in fact, so yeah, we're still looking very good here, then potentially get 3rd or even 2nd here, as Levy has now pitted for a 2nd time in this race, and Liam is now up to 12 seconds of penalties, so yeah, we're looking very good here to overtake him at least, as Levy goes over to softs then, so we'll see then how his pace is, because he could potentially catch us by the end, depending on how quick the mediums drop off here. We'll have to wait and see then, that could be an inspired decision for all we know. As out of the final, well, through the final corner here now then, and Liam has crashed out the race there, so that is a huge disappointment for him there. It did look like he was going to drop a few places anyway today because of those penalties, but still, that's a big shame for him, and that could well be his championship over there then, because yeah, he needed to score some points today. And yeah, the safety car is now deployed, so yeah, we could have a bit of a grandstand finish to this race then. Obviously Levy has already gone over to softs here. Me and Chris are doing the same here, but Chris has actually spun there going into the pit lane, so that is going to be a place gain for us then. And well, sadly for Chris, I think that's the 2nd time this season that he's done that, and lost the position there to me there, so yeah, that's unlucky for him there then, but a little bit of good fortune there for us, because we've obviously been going, obviously now we're going over to the same tyres here, and I did have like a couple of laps newer tyres before, so I did have more of an advantage when I was catching him before, but obviously now that he's lost the position there, sort of the advantage now with me anyway, when it would have been neutral, if that makes any sense at all there. But we rejoin the pits, and in 2nd position, Levy in 3rd, but he does have a penalty, so Chris still may well be on the podium here. And it looks like we're going to probably have one chance here to try and stop Limpjet if we can with this restart, which we're going to have to try and get right if we can. And yeah, we're going to have 3 laps to go then, as we now head back racing then, and we've tried to go with him if we can here. We're going to use as much of our overtake as we can but it looks like he's going to have just about enough here towards turn 1. As yeah, it looks like everyone else got left behind on that restart, but yeah, we did sort of manage to go with him there, but just weren't close enough to go for the move. And it's looking like already then that it could be quite difficult, because just his pace here was incredible. And to be fair, for the last couple of races his pace has just been so strong, and it's sort of, well, I was going to say it came out of nowhere, but I mean, he did win earlier in the season, but yeah, he just seems to have found something extra in these last couple of races, and yeah, he's just looking absolutely dominant at the moment then, just such strong pace at the moment. And yeah, he had a 3-second lead then by the time we got to the end of this race. I mean, to be fair, some gaps did start to form here. I was a few seconds ahead of Chris here, and then he had a few seconds between him and ABS Fan and Levy there in 5th, so yeah, all did space out quite a bit at the end as Limpjet wins, and we are going to take a solid 2nd position here then in Austin. And yeah, here is the podium then, with Limpjet taking his 4th win of the season and his 3rd in a row. And yeah, it's looking very, very good for him now then in the championship, and even more so when you can, well, when you factor in that both Alex and Amaze went here as well, and they were obviously potential challengers here, and obviously in the championship as well. So yeah, so that's a very good result for him then. We did all we could there in 2nd position, but yeah, it wasn't quite enough in the end to challenge for the victory. As there are the final results then, Limpjet taking the win, we were in 2nd, Chris in 3rd, ABS Fan at his home race then gets his best result of the season there in 4th. Our teammate was 5th there, so I believe that is our best result as a team this season, so yeah, nice result for us there. Coda, Average, Epics, they were the finishers then, and well, yeah, the only drivers to score points then, because everyone else below that DNF there. So yep, just 8 finishes here then in Austin. Moving on now then to round 9 of the season, the Mexican Grand Prix. And yep, just 5 rounds to go now then, including this one, and we really do now need to try and get a result if we can over Limpjet, if we're going to try and stay in the championship fight, I think. Now, this is a track that since I think only the last game really has become one that I really enjoy. I don't know if there's something that's changed about it, or just it's sort of one I've become more used to now, because it obviously was sort of a newer track to the calendar. But I don't know, like something just like works now at this track for me, and I always just like really enjoy driving around it now. And yeah, that was certainly the case. Well, it's certainly the case on this game as well. Sort of took a bit of time as usual to sort of find a setup that worked, but once I did, then I was really happy with yeah, the car, as I was on the last game. And yeah, I wasn't entirely happy with my setup though for qualifying though, because well, there's rain forecast for the race, so I made some changes to the car to just improve stability a bit. But yeah, the thing is, it just made the car a little bit understeer and a bit draggy, so I wasn't entirely happy with it in qualifying, but I was hoping that in the race it would be a bit better. As we only qualify 8th then, as Amaze takes pole then by just under a 10th there from Limpjet, and then the Slap Bus was only 1,000th behind him in 3rd there. Chris, Liam, Nomad, Alex, me, Peanut and Ben there round out the top 10, with my teammate Levy there in 11th, and a much fuller grid this time then. We're up to 18 then for this race, so yeah, a big contrast from the previous race. So yeah, going into this one then, hoping for a lot more action, although we're hoping there isn't too much then in the first corner, especially in these conditions. As yeah, we're on the grid now then. I underfueled the car a bit as well, because I didn't imagine we'd be needing to be carrying an excess of fuel in these conditions, and especially with there likely to be some safety cars as well. So yeah, I was sort of quite comfortable there underfueling the car. But yeah, we'll just be hoping then that we can get through this first these first few corners then without too much trouble here, and without picking up any damage, I think. And yeah, it's just going to be a survival race, I think, because yeah, it doesn't look like the conditions are going to improve much. They are going to get a bit better towards the end, but yeah, it's really going to be a case of keeping it on the road then, as we line up now then on the grid, and the lights are coming on now. And we are away here then in Mexico, and it's a very tentative start from us here then, as we're getting a lot of wheel spin. Alex there, I noticed, has had a very good start. Chris has dropped back a few places, it looks like. We're still in 8th at the moment, but we've got Ben alongside us then on the run towards turn 1. It looks like we're going to be on the inside line here. We're on the brakes here, quite cautious, but almost alongside Chris there. Had a little bit of a tap from behind, but then the two McLarens there looked like touched, and one of them's gone spinning out there. We've managed to make up a couple of places there. We're up into 6th position, still with Chris just in front of us and Ben just behind. And yeah, we're looking at Chris now then into turn 4, but just weren't quite close enough there on the brakes and didn't really have the confidence here on the first lap to sort of know for sure that I could go for that move there. So yeah, just about backed out of it there. And yeah, we're just going to follow now then through this section. It doesn't look like there's going to be really many other chances to overtake here in this first part of the lap, as we actually lock up there a little bit and go off the track there, but we didn't gain anything there. So yeah, that wasn't a warning, so yeah, that's fine for us there. At the start, it looked like, I believe it was actually Nomad in the McLaren and Limpjet who had a collision into the first corner, and Alex and Ben were both left with nowhere to go there. I believe Alex went into Nomad, and I think Ben just about avoided it, but yeah, it was all a bit of a mess there, and I believe one of the Mercedes collected Nomad as well. So yeah, bit of a hectic first corner there, but we managed to just about get through it then. And it's Amaze then who leads across the line, and the other Red Bull is in the pits then of Slap Bus, and that's because he jumped the start there and got a drive-through penalty. So that's us up in another position then, and we're on the back of Chris now then, and we've got a good run here then. We're using our overtake here, and towards the first corner we're a little bit more confident on the brakes then, up the inside, and it looks like we've just about got his move done then. We've given him some space on it, well, going around turn 2 there just in case, but we've got the move done then, and we're up 4 places already then, up into 4th position. So it's been a very positive start for us here. As we skip on to the end of this lap now then, we're already catching up to the back of Liam here, but there's a virtual safety car that now comes out. I'm not sure what for, but yeah, that's going to be out now then. And yeah, no one's retired at this point, so yeah, it must have just been for debris there. We're back racing now then on lap 4, and we're on the back of Liam still here then, so our pace is looking quite good here. But in turn 1 we're just a little bit too heavy there on the brakes and had a bit of a lock up there, almost ran into the back of him, but thankfully we managed to avoid doing that. And yeah, that's just a little bit of a warning to us though, because yeah, our pace has looked quite good so far, but yeah, we're going to have to be just a little bit more careful there if we're going to go for this move. On to lap 7 now, where we are still very close to the back of Liam, and just as it was in Austin, he's already got himself a penalty there. Well, good run here towards turn 4, but yes, again, didn't have the confidence on the brakes. Now the safety car is out right after that, so yeah, we're not going to be making any overtakes now anyway then. But yeah, still we're looking pretty good at this point. Limpjet is only just at the road as well. Amaze had a pretty good lead there, and yeah, it all stays as it was then in the top 4. Yeah, no one pitting at this point then, and yeah, we're just getting ready for a restart now then, as yeah, Peanut almost goes into the back of us there. But yes, again then, it's a very, very slow restart here from Amaze, but to be fair, this one is in a much it's a much tighter section of track here then, and I mean, he did slow down more gradually I guess this time, so yeah, that's fine I guess. And yeah, we're going to be back racing now then, hopefully quite soon. We'll see if we can get a good run here on Liam, and yeah, maybe, well, I don't know if we'll be getting a Limpjet here, but yeah, hopefully we can, well, resume our fight and eventually now then get back ahead, as we are back underway now then. And Liam's had a very good restart there on Limpjet, and he's thrown up into 2nd place already then, so we'll now see then if we can maybe go for the AlphaTauri as well then, whilst he is still recovering from that one. It looks like we're too far back to do it then on this occasion, as they're side by side once again then. Jet Rano at the outside then at turn 1, that becomes the inside line for turn 2, but then it becomes the outside line again for turn 3, and Liam is back ahead, and that's just allowed us to close up some a little bit then, as they were going side by side there. And while we're going to be close enough into turn 4, no, not quite, we just haven't had the confidence there on the brakes so far in this race, and yeah, we're just going to stay behind for the time being. But I mean, we're still looking good for a podium here, because Liam has some penalties already, and yeah, our pace is looking quite good, well, to those behind us at this point as well, as Jet there with a poor run out of the final corner, and we're going to have a great run this time then, down the long pit straight here towards turn 1, we're side by side, and yeah, this really is the moment that we've got to make the most of, but it's crucial for the race and for the championship here, as we're on the inside line for turn 1, but again, he's running the outside and getting the inside line here for turn 2. we're going to try and stay on the inside line for turn 3, but well, he was taking that apex whether we were there or not, and yeah, we had to back out of it then, and we stay in 4th position for the time being here. But it is looking like we do maybe have a little bit of a pace advantage at the moment, so yeah, this is really our chance now. We've got to try and take it if we can, because we really just cannot afford to lose more points in a championship. He's on such a good run of form here that any points we can get back here are going to be crucial if we can do it then, as we're now finally going for a move and up the inside into turn 4. But yet again then, he's very strong on the outside there, gets the inside line for the next corner, but we're going to try and hang it in there ourselves this time and try and go around the outside in turn 6, but that's not quite going to work, and he yes again then manages to stay ahead. So yeah, he's doing some very good defensive driving at the moment, but yeah, it does look like we've got a little bit of a pace advantage at the moment, but we're not making the most of it yet, and we really need to. Yeah, if we want to try and claw some points back here in the championship, as yeah, we've got Slapbus coming through now then. Of course, he started further up and had a penalty. He's also been in to change his tyres at some point, and he also has 6 seconds of penalty, so this one didn't really seem worth fighting there, and once he got a run there, I did not fight that one at all then, and yeah, through he goes then. And I was just hoping that he would be able to take the fight to the leaders up in front of us as well then, as yeah, we're seeing then yeah, he's now fighting Limpjet here for 2nd place down the pit straight. They're still side by side here as the TLR 10 is out of the race, and a safety car is deployed just as the Red Bull gets ahead there. Now the rain was starting to look like it might ease up a little bit here, so I really wasn't sure what to do in terms of strategy, because the tracks did still seem too wet for Inters here. But then I noticed is that Amazed and Jet are both pitting here, and so is Peanut behind there, and Amazed has gone over to Inters, and I think Limjet is going to be doing the same here. And I really wasn't sure. I thought Inters would be like a really good idea, but then when they both came in, I thought, right, well, I'll do the opposite to them, because I thought maybe they'd go for wet tyres again, thinking that it wasn't time yet. And yeah, I ended up doing the wrong decision, and unlike in Spa where I felt that, you know, I could make it work, like staying out at the start, like I knew like this time that I had messed it up. But the good news for us though is that we've had Alex go through there on wet tyres. We're going to have Ben go through here with a penalty. We're going to have Chris go through here with a penalty and on wet tyres. I believe we had Peanut go through with a penalty, and yeah, Slapbus in front of us has penalties, so we are still not in a bad position here, because pretty much everyone in front of us is either on wets or has a penalty. So as it stands, we could still, like without too much difficulty, recover to a podium position here. But still, that's quite frustrating for us, because we were on the back of Limpjet and we were putting pressure on him, and well, we've lost that now, and it's really going to be a case of making sure we actually do get that podium finish now, because yeah, it is going to be hard to catch him up on track here, as Peanut in fact spins out there, so that's one less car for us to have to worry about here. But yeah, we're going to be back racing now then, with hopefully the Inters being the better tyre here. I really did think that they would be. I just realised it a lap too late. Well, I thought it, but I just second guessed myself and stayed out when I really shouldn't have. I thought I'd maybe stay out and like have the lead, and think that maybe yeah, they'd go on wets and I'd have the lead still when we all changed over. But yeah, it didn't work out the way everyone else predicted the Inters as well, and yeah, I ended up looking a bit stupid there. But nonetheless, then we're making a move on Chris here into the first corner there, so it's a good restart for us. We're up to 6th place already here. But yeah, as I was saying, then Ben's up in front of us with a penalty, and then we've got Alex on the wet tyres, so if it is Inters, then Alex is going to have to pit, or else he's going to be dropping positions hand over fist here. We've also got Liam in front of us as well, and he has penalties as well, so yeah, we're still looking very good here, I'd say, for a podium. But yeah, as I said, it's just very frustrating now that we're not going to be able to put any more pressure on Limpjet. It's looking like, well, unless he gets some penalties here, as we are now side by side then with Ben down the pit straight here towards the first corner, and we're up the inside here into turn 1, and yeah, we've got the move done there then up into 5th position, and it's Liam and Alex then next at the road, and those may be the only 2 cars that we can catch now then in the rest of this race, as AVS Fund sets the fastest lap of the race there then in some clear air further back down the field there. But Liam now then gets a good run on Alex then, who I think is now going to start struggling then on the wet tyres, and yeah, Liam is through then and up into the podium position for the time being, although with those penalties it is still Alex then who is on for the podium at the moment. And yeah, skipping to a little bit later on in the lap now then, and it's very clear that the wet tyres are struggling a lot now, but Alex still doesn't pit here, which I did think was a bit of a surprise, because they're just going to keep on dropping off here, and surely with 10 laps to go, taking the pit stop here would be the better option really. But still, we've got the good run now then down the pit straight, and we should have this one done then on the brakes into the first corner here, round the outside, and yeah, we are through then and up into 4th position with yeah, Liam with 6 seconds of penalties, just a second, well, just about a couple of seconds then up the road. So as long as we can keep in touch with him here, we're on for a podium finish then. Limpjet 4.5 seconds up the road, but I think we're going to struggle to catch him here. And I did feel a little bit more reassured then when this happened and Limpjet set a fastest lap of the race there and showed that he did have a lot more time in the bank, because I was feeling frustrated at myself that I had missed the chance to put some pressure on him, but looking at his pace there, I don't think it would have made a difference. It seemed like he always had a little bit extra then to push here, so I don't feel as much like I blew an opportunity here, because I don't think the opportunity was ever really there if he had that extra pace in the tank. As you can see here, he's pulled the gap out to 8.5 seconds to us, almost challenged Amaze there for the win at the end. But yeah, it's the Red Bull driver then who takes another victory here then, and yeah, Limjet then moves a step closer to the championship then with 2nd, and Liam crossed the line 3rd, but we take it on penalties then. So yeah, that's another podium finish for us there then. And yeah, there we see then Amaze then becomes only the 2nd driver this season then to take 2 victories this season, I believe. And yeah, I think it's just a shame for him really that he joined in a little bit late, because in terms of pace, he's looking like really the only person who could have maybe taken the fight to Limjet in the title race on this kind of form. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame for him that he joined late, but I mean, I guess there's always next season. But yeah, there are the final results then. Amaze, as I said, took the win. It was Limjet in 2nd, and yeah, we ran out the podium then in 3rd. Liam then was in 4th, ahead of Slapbus. Levy, yet again then, a good points finish there, so another strong points result there for the team there, with him in 6th. Ben was 7th, ABS found 8th, Bybin and Chris there rounded out the points in 10th position. The standings should be on screen. I don't know exactly what they are, but what I do know is that I will now be up to 2nd place in the championship, and I'll be 33 points behind Limpjet then going into the final 4 races. So it's not over, but I think it's going to be quite hard for us then, looking at his current pace. And yeah, we're going to have to try and make up quite a lot of points then in these final 4 races if we are going to win this championship. And with that non-score for Alex today, that drops him to 47 points off the lead. So we could be the only person who can actually stop Limpjet now then. Obviously not mathematically, there's still Alex is still in there then, and so is Liam, and also Chris and Amazed in fact. So yeah, still 6 drivers then mathematically in contention here, but yeah, it's looking less and less likely that anyone can stop Limpjet. But obviously we're in the best position at the moment then, in 2nd place. But yeah, I think we're going to need some good fortune then. Yeah, so we've got the 3 newer tracks then to F1 2021 coming up next. And by the new ones, I mean the ones that should have been in the game, but the game was released unfinished. So yeah, it's Portimao, Saudi Arabia and Imola that are going to be up next then, before the finale in Brazil. So yep, just the 4 races to go then, 100 points to play for. And yeah, so I guess, still potential for a lot to happen here then. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this double header of WR races then. If you did, really appreciate a like on the video, and I look forward to seeing you next time.